Today we're going to talk about choosing and using a paring knife. There are different types of paring knives for you to choose from. The first one I have on the left is a sheep's foot paring knife, and then the one in the middle is a spear point or spear tip paring knife. Both of these are good for peeling, slicing, coring, removing seeds, segmenting fruit, deveining shrimp, many different options. The third one is a tournay knife, and we're going to show you what a tournay knife does at the end of this video. Now we're going to show you how to fan and dice a strawberry. Strawberries are very sweet and flavorful when they are in season. The season typically starts at the end of June and goes through July. You can get strawberries all year long, but they're not as sweet. Strawberries are an easy garnish for summer desserts. With a paring knife, you're going to slice the strawberry from a point slightly below the top stem to the bottom. Continue making thin slits from one end of the strawberry to the other. Gently spread the strawberry apart, creating a strawberry fan. The amount of slices that you're going to make are depending on how large or small that the strawberry is, but typically for this presentation, you want to use the largest strawberry in the pack. Just don't press too hard when you're fanning it out or you will crush it. This is a great garnish for desserts as well as fruit and cheese platters. The next thing I'm going to show you is how to dice strawberries. Just a reminder that before I started cutting these strawberries, I washed them well and dried them. I typically do not wash my strawberries until I'm about to use them because they will spoil quickly. So let's dice these strawberries. The first thing we're going to do is use our paring knife and slice thin slabs. All right, so if we're looking for a small dice, they're going to be about 1/4 inch thick. From there, you're going to take a stack of strawberries and you're going to cut them into sticks and then turn it and cut it into a small dice. Small dices of strawberries are good for cereals as well as delicious on parfaits with yogurt and granola. Next up is supreming an orange. An orange supreme is a slice of orange without a membrane and a pith attached to it. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to cut the top and the bottom of the orange to get 2 flat sides. And you're going to be able to see the inside flesh of the orange. From there, you're going to take your paring knife and you're going to slice off the outer layer, the pith, which is the white part of the orange, as well as the zest, which is the orange part of the orange. And you're going to take that off until you reveal the flesh. You don't want to leave any of the white membrane behind. If you wanted to zest this fruit, please make sure that you do it before you start to cut it. Now, an orange supreme is really a special cut because it makes the orange taste even more delicious because it eliminates the bitter part of the orange, which is the pith and the white membrane that holds each of the segments together. So what we're doing is we're going to take each individual segment out of this orange. Just make sure you're cleaning really well the outside, but make sure you're not cutting away too much of that orange flesh. And then what you're going to do is you're going to cut thin slices in between the layer of the membrane as close as possible that you can get. And out should come a segment. After you release each segment, you're actually going to push the membrane to the side so that you can get to the next segment. And you're going to do this all the way around the orange. When you get to the end, you're going to be left with just the membrane parts of the segments. Squeeze it before you get rid of it because there is some juice inside. Enjoy these segments on their own, on top of a green salad, any way you please. Here's a look at our 2 knife cuts that we produced using a traditional paring knife. Next, Mr. Darazi will show us how to tournay a potato.
Let's take a look at how to take a potato from its full self to this tournay. I'm going to demonstrate for you how to tournay using a potato. There are 2 knives here, a paring knife and a tournay knife. You could use either knife, but the tournay knife, the shape, the curvature of the blade, does make it easier to create the tournay shape that you're looking for. When it comes to tourneing, it's all about the shape. And to practice that, I'm going to show you how to create this shape, starting with using an egg. This is a great way to practice when you're first starting. So holding the knife in one hand and the egg in the other, starting from the top and really getting the feel for the curve. This is the big part. When you cut into your vegetable, you want to come in from the top and work your way down to the bottom, right? So into the top, at the center is where you would make the turn. And really you can simulate this using the egg. What's important is just getting comfortable with making this particular motion. It's a little bit unusual, so it does take a little bit of practice, but with practice, you will get it. The first step when tourneing a potato is to peel the potato. So have a bowl for your scraps and just remove the peel from the outside of the washed potato. Now, you'll notice that there are some blemishes on the potato. I'm not worried about that for this because they're going to get cut away in the tourne process. Once the potato has been peeled, we're now going to go ahead and cut this into smaller pieces. So a large potato, we can go ahead and start by cutting in half, and then I'm going to quarter each half, which is going to give me 8 pieces in total. We have a bowl of water, which is ready to sit these in so that the potatoes don't oxidize. Another important step. Now we're ready to go and tourne or turn our potato. So pick a spot and starting from the top, you're going to insert the knife in, and at the center of the potato, you're going to then curve it down towards the bottom. Big things to look for here, right? We're working in one direction, meaning the potato is always turning in one direction. So you can see in my left hand, the potato is where I'm turning it, and then the knife is just working through the potato, trying to make nice even strokes from top to bottom. This is important. You want to make sure that when you start, you complete the cut all the way through. Some problems that we see or that happen that become an issue is when you start stopping and starting. In other words, if the knife comes out and then you try to replace it back where it came out of. Trying to be sure to make nice straight motions up and down or curved, but starting from the top all the way to the bottom is going to ensure that you get smooth edges. Remember, we're looking for 7 sides and a football shape, all right? And it should be about 2 inches long once you're completed. So we just continue to work around. And don't worry, if you see something that looks like it might be a little bit off, it's going to come around again. So you don't have to look for it. You notice I haven't moved the potato. The potato has moved in the same direction the entire time. So all those pieces that we just cut off, we're going to put into water because we can use some of those scraps. So we'll put those aside. And now here we have our turned potato. So we want to just take the edges, just a small piece off of each edge to make sure that it has nice defined edges. If you're not sure about the size, you can go ahead and measure, okay? And the big thing, like I said, making sure you're always turning in the same direction. This is where I see most people make their biggest mistakes, is they start looking to see, where's the next cut coming from? The next cut is always the next one in the circle, right? If there is a blemish, it'll show itself, and then you'll be able to take care of it and make sure you have your nice even sides. Takes a lot of practice, but there it is. So here we have our finished product. We started with 8 pieces of potato, which we cut from 1 potato. And here you have 8 tournées. They're not perfect, they're pretty good. And again, with practice, you can also achieve this.
And here's a look at our finished product, our tourneed potatoes. You can do the same method on a carrot or a zucchini. Thanks for watching our video. Don't forget to give it a like, subscribe to our channel, and hit that bell for notifications for when we post new videos.